Hello, everybody. Welcome to me playing the Stanley Parable. Stanley Parable is a game that I know a little bit about. I know it's this kind of... I wouldn't really call it a choose-your-own adventure. It's sort of like that where, like... It's sort of a narrative game where you go in, there's a narrator narrating stuff, and you take actions in the game, and your actions have consequences that the narrator comments on that helps you. Does that help you? Well, I think the best way to get, to understand it is to just sort of dive right in. So let's do that. So I've seen this game many years ago. I watched this game played, so I'm pretty familiar with it already. But it's been long enough. A lot of it's dropped out of my mind. It was free on Epic Game Store for quite a while.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Shut up.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
So I'm gonna take a lot of a backseat to the narrator to let him take center stage. Great voice actor. I don't know who he is. Yeah, I don't know if there's an easy way to find out who narrates this, but smashing job, smashing good job. So yeah, when he speaks, I'll step out of the way. Sorry if things are a little nauseating, I guess, with my movement. Is there a screen blur? The mouse is decently sensitive. I think I'll drop that down real quick. Oh, there's acceleration. No, there's not. It's disabled. Huh. Alright, we'll drop it by half. Yeah, I think that's better. I mean, I would have no problem with it at the faster movement, but I'm imagining it will be sickening for some of you to watch as I like swing my camera around rapidly. So, anyways, let's get into it. So Stanley was happy. He was happy. But his happiness was destroyed by realization that he's never seen anybody in this office. Oh, okay. So I left clicked and it turned off the monitor. Got little documents here. Recommendations from the Oversight Committee. General questions about something law filling? Zone law? I wish there was a zoom button. That would be... Actually, this might be nauseating. Oh no, my field of vision's as narrow as possible. Shoot. I was gonna zoom in by changing the field of vision. I'm actually gonna up that slightly. Not a lot. And that, yeah, that might smooth things out so it's not as like zippy zappy and nauseating. You farted. That's such an office mug. Like this, you can guess what kind of like office person sits here. Like he's sort of the jokester. He's the guy that tries to get people to laugh, tries to lighten the mood. Oh, papers strewn about. All right, let's march onward and read another mug. Like work. I like work. I just hate my boss. Huh. I wonder what his boss thinks of that. Maybe the boss has a good sense of humor. Oh, look at that pretty picture. More documents with like massive amounts of bloom, overly bright. All right. Is this the same? No, this is a different office. We've got different mugs. Be my Valentine. Okay. Ooh, another computer to turn off. Look at that. I am saving this company a lot of money. I'm turning off the computers and halting the waste of electricity. Although I can't turn off these. Oh, it does make a noise though. Although this one is off and that one's off. Huh. But yeah, so I can't turn those off to save the company money. Here's another room. Ooh, and then a door to a hallway over there. I can crouch. I don't know if I can run. Yeah, there's no running. It's just walking. Although the walking speed's pretty good, so I don't really need... Oh, somebody else in this office has that who farted mug. Two competing office jokesters. I hate Mondays. Hello, Garfield. So there's not a jump button. What's in this? Another meeting room. All right, let's stand in this closet. Can I close it? No, I can't. So one thing I do remember before I go forward is that this is a game that messes with your perception. So it messes with not only your perception of space. So as I move around in space in this game, if I remember correctly, it will like not be the same. Like I'll move this way and then I can like go back through and it won't be the same. And we'll see if that's the case here. I think I remember at points in the games that's definitely the case. But it also messes with your perception because the narrator tries to give a certain perspective that may or may not line up with what is happening, if I remember correctly. Was that painting there before? I think I just missed that, but it might have changed. Okay, so ceiling tiles are gone there. There's a painting. Yep, that's still dead end. Coming back through. Everything's still the same. I did forget to turn off a computer. I should have read it first. Or I would have liked to read it first, but oh well. It is bright white outside. We are not very many kilometers away from the sun. I mean, we're probably more than a couple kilometers away from the sun because I feel like this brightness doesn't do that justice, but the sun's definitely closer. Or somebody's doing some floodlights directly on those windows. And those windows too. Wait, were those windows there before? And okay. Whatever, back into my office. Ooh, ominous music. Ooh. Ooh, that little sound effect gave me a little bit of goosebumps. I like it. Alright, so I can't do, so right now nothing is happening. Absolutely nothing at all. I'm moving through the office, and now I'm moving through it again. And things keep not happening. Can I open that door? No. 420. Blaze it. I debated for half a second if I should make that stupid joke. And you saw my decision. I have no regrets. Alright. Can I like go anywhere or do anything? Game? I thought I remember things happening more early on, like the narrator saying more stuff, or like not having to wander as much. I do remember this, I think, was a Gary's Mod game originally. Ooh, there's the ominous music when I'm in here again. Huh. Alright, I'm gonna sit a bit and see if something happens if I just stare at the screen for a little while. But I think I remember this started as a Gary's Mod game. And like when you saw him like typing at the computer, doing his thing. Sorry, turning down my gain because I noticed it got a little too loud on the mic. When you saw him typing at the computer, that was sort of like a Gary's Mod animation. Or it had the same kind of look. I don't know if they did in Gary's Mod and brought the video over to this game, or they just made it look Gary's Mod-esque. So I do remember this game was originally a Gary's Mod game, and they turned it out into a full-fledged game because it was pretty popular and people liked it. And there's a lot of benefits to becoming a full-fledged game. Like you have more sense of, like, you're not limited by a lot of the controls that you have in Gary's Mod. You have more powerful tools to do things with. All right, am I just crazy and missing something, like something obvious? I'm trying to open all the doors, or all the, oh, that had made a different noise. I'm just
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment.
Fuck you, there's gonna be swearing, by the way. Fuck you, narrator. What cue from the environment am I missing? Huh? I mean, I've run this whole gamut and haven't been able to do a thing. So now I'm clicking on everything, narrator. You've driven me insane. You've driven me insane. Lock. Oh, I get it. That's what you want me to feel. You want me to feel like Stan. So that's new. Alright. Can't close that one.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So here's the question. So in a sense we have 2 options, except we really have 3. Not 4. We can listen to his narration and go to the left. We can not listen to him and go to the right, be a rebel. I'm actually kind of inclined to just follow the narrator the first time through, be a boring boy, and do that. The third option is just wait here till the end of time, and not play the game, because that's an option. And he might say something. I'm kind of wanting to wait here to see if he says anything. Let's give it a minute. We'll give it a minute. I'm looking at the timer on the recording. It was 13 minutes, so we'll wait until 14 minutes, and see what happens. So how you guys doing? I've been doing all right myself. Obviously, you guys can't talk back, but you know, I'd love to talk to you a little bit in the comments if you want to leave a little comment about how you're doing. No pressure. Yeah, you know, there's a quarantine going on, so I'm recording this during the whole COVID-19 stuff. The coronavirus, you know, isolating myself, which is a convenient time. I don't know if I've talked about it on video recently or in one of the recordings since it happened, but I actually I got laid off from my job, but this was before all the corona stuff, so it had nothing to do with the corona thing. I won't get into, like, you know, what happened and why I was laid off and all that. It was amicable. It was somewhat down to, like, disagreements and stuff like that, and just not being a great fit. Both me not being a great fit for the company and the company not being a great fit for me. So I'm now on the search for new employment, but coronavirus hit, and I do. Weird quick tangent. I do like saying, like, coronavirus hit. I mean, because you could say, like, maybe there's some deal of, like, predictability about it or whatever. Like, people saw, oh man, I've gone way longer. I'll go to the store after I finish this thought. But, like, it kind of, like, coronavirus came kind of as a storm. Like a storm we should have been much more prepared for, in my personal opinion. That's like this big disaster that like changes things and like can kill a lot of lives if you don't take the proper things. But this is like an like if an earthquake just hit, we would like suffer for the time period. Like suffer's not the right words. There would be damage done. The earthquake would do what it does, and then we'd have to deal with the consequences depending how long it lasts. Earthquakes aren't very long, so relatively speaking, it's a short time period where there's like, like we need to, like, the thing is happening, we need to deal with it. But then there's like, the thing happened, what next? Like, oh, this earthquake wasn't bad, it did barely any damage, maybe it broke some glasses. You don't really have to do much next. Maybe get some new glasses. If it's big and destroys buildings, it's like, oh shoot, like that's a lot of damage, economic damage, probably damage to people's health and lives, which sucks, but you know, that's what happens. What do you do about that? And Corona's kind of in that weird spot of like, it's happening for a long time. We don't know how long. It's still happening. We'll see how long it happens. So it's hitting. It's a thing that started and a thing that's still going. That we're both needing to address in the now, but we're also like, oh, what's next? But the thing is, it hasn't finished yet, so the what's next is still like it's constantly changing. Like we don't know what's next because we're still dealing with it. So yeah, that was just the tangent I found interesting because, you know, saying it hit and putting it as perspective of like a natural disaster sort of puts in a framework that's a little, I think, easier to understand and take a step back to look at. Yeah. So I listened to you, narrator. What now? What now? I'm teabagging. What now? Up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So when I crouch, I go slower. But when I'm in the middle of crouching, I do not go slower. When I'm going up, I don't go slower. So if I keep I don't think this is a game I really need to analyze the mechanics this deeply, but I am and I did, so.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Cabal planning? I guess it's the name of this type of planning, and then somebody putting group after crossing out and a little smiley face there. Rest in peace, Franz. I don't know if that's sad or not. That might be very sad. Meeting room, floor 4. Oh, so we're on the 4th floor. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Here's all the meetings that go into them. Are these time oh, yeah, they are time blocks. I was like, where's the time? Like, I don't see it up top. But it's down there. 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. Office party on Fridays. Nice. And this doesn't seem like too bad of a place to work. Okay, there's a lot in that sentence I just said. Making an assumption that it's a bad place to work at all. It could be a good or bad place, but I'm seeing things that look, you know, kind of nice. Like it's nice to have office parties. Whether or not you love your job, well, it also depends on like how social you are and if you even enjoy parties and other people and stuff. But I find office parties fun personally. 'Cause that's the kind of person I am. Bar graphs. I want to analyze these bar graphs, but I can't get to it effectively. This is inefficient. It's the synergy of core global something value paradigm. So, business gibberish. Sweet. Alright, numbers of slides on... No, I wanted to see how many slides were on that presentation. Which charts of the same slide depict the same information. Rate of increase in graphs per slide. Ah, please no more charts. Please, I'm begging you. The boss appreciation minute. Oh, this is a kind of cynical game. I love it. And the narrator's got sort of that British accent to him, which fits with this kind of cynical humor. The British humor is very good about being funny in a very cynical way. A lot of percent space between the teenagers, size of demographics, teenage. Sometimes I like to look at charts and just see what the labels are without knowing what the context is, and then seeing what the context is after. Maybe even guessing what the context is. So I'd assume this is like trying to target teenagers. Wait, size of space between. All right, now I'm very confused. I'm so confused. I don't know if I can figure what the context is. I was assuming it was demographic based, like how does our product target them? Work harder, hard worker. Wow. Find teenagers to put in teenage demographic, big net, some sort of child trap. But I think that's a stupid idea. For 2 and 4 or 5, I want to get rid of the death sport portion of the We need hopeless reviews, or no, more/less reviews. They crossed out more and put less. It looked kind of like hope to me, actually. Hopeless reviews. More water coolers, more water cooler heaters. Charts need to be more hip to appeal to. Wow, this is such like meta business humor here. We're in for a game. That's for sure. This is a game. We live in a society, guys.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Should I listen to him and then not listen to? Well, whatever. Let's full on listen to him. Let's be boring. Yeah, we're boring Stanley. Happy with his job. Is this the boss? Yeah, I think that's the boss office. That's executive bathroom. Mother trucker. You mother trucker. You're hiding us a good bathroom. Look, I know most of us would ruin it. And that's why it needs to be hidden a little bit. But come on. I bet it's really nice. I bet it has 2-ply instead of 1-ply. That's how good this bathroom is. And this jerk is hoarding the good bathroom. I give this office a 0 out of 10. Just for that bathroom. All right, boss.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Okay, 2845. I will do that after looking around this room a little bit. Maybe there's like, ooh, can I play? Nope. Is there any books to
Stanley
pull on?
just sat around twiddling his thumbs.
Yeah, I remember.
Input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
All right. Let me look at the paintings, okay? I know it's 2845. There's a camera there.
2845.
Fine. All right. Nope. 5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
If I can redo this section, I'm gonna put in the wrong code next time and see what happens. So I'll listen to him. So I remember this game loops a little bit, but there is some funkiness to the looping where, again, it messes with your perception, where not all loops are necessarily the same, and the context of what you did before can change. what happens next, if I'm remembering correctly. Some delicious coffee. You know, when you're trapped inside.
Deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
You gonna answer it for us, narrator? You gonna tell us how to live our lives? Tell us what makes us feel better, huh? Huh? I don't know which direction you are. You're in that direction, narrator. I just know it.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Sure, why not? Let's be mind controlled. You know what? It might be a nice life. Just, you know, let somebody mind control you. It makes everything easy. Then you don't have to think anymore.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Nope. Let me out! Let me out! Let me out of here! No. Oh, another security camera. Alright, let's find out. Let's see what this mind control's all about. There's a button. Security camera button. There's some pencils. Are those cigarettes? Yeah, those are cigarettes. Urgent. Employees should never under any circumstances attempt. Can I think I can jump here. This is a very morbid choice that I'm really curious about taking right now. The morbid part of me wants to just, no, never mind. I just tried. I was like, you know what? I might be wrong and I might not be able to, and the answer was yes, I was not able to.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
What does that say? I cannot read. I see some of the words. Command something beep boop. Oh. Is it gonna come back? Looks like no. So there's a key card. Oh, there we go. It does come back. Beep, error, beep. Alright, whatever. Let's go on. Game getting a little meta there, reducing characters onto a screen. It's almost like a video game. Alright, hit the elevator. Person elevator.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
It's almost like he's being manipulated by a player right now.
No.
You can't see, but my eyes wide in there.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Alright. Quit. No. Get it? Get it, everybody? Ha 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 ha. There's a home button. What is that? By the way, I was thinking while I was narrating, and it reminded me of something I feel like I should probably state. When I compared coronavirus to a natural disaster, I do want to be careful with that, because although it's nice to put in the framework of a natural disaster, at the same time we do exert a lot of control over what can happen and what does happen with the coronavirus. So to say it's the same as an earthquake is disingenuous, because there's a lot more that you can do in one situation versus the other. But anyways, yeah, you get me. All right, so what do we do? There's home button, there's some button, and then there's stack tiles, there's danger, and there's 10. Let's hit 10. 10. Makes a nice little noise. Triangle. Nothing. Alright. And this is a big red thing. There's a big button there. Boop. 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 Brimstone! For all you Isaac players out there. Alright. Huh. Little red lights starting around there. There's a door over here with the line going this way. 4 of those green buttons. There's a 1, 2. I don't see what that do. 1, 2, brush my shoe. 3, 4, lick the door. Aw, yeah. Oh, 1, 2, 5. Alright, so I've hit 1, 2. Now I found 3. Question is, where's 4? That made a different noise. So 5, 1, 2, 5, 4. Found it. Is this the big secret, guys? I do wonder, like, well, there's probably people who have, like, combed through every little bit of this game and gotten all that you can get, or done all the things that you can do. But I am wondering, like, how many little Easter eggs, or like how many endings, or like how many things that you can do that people have missed in this game that are. Something felt weird. Okay. I don't know why, but like the door going black like freaked me out for a second. 5. Huh. Alright, whatever. Let's hit that big red button. Boop. Boop? Boop, I say. Alright, it's not booping. So I hit the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if there's a 6. I did hit 5 multiple times. Maybe that sequenced something wrong. I don't know. Mind control, idle, awaiting input. Bit of code over there.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
So, again, an option. Let's listen to the narrator and hit off. Alright. We turned it off. Now we get a little bit of music.
And a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And
Did I unshackle myself
even
from
as
someone's
the immense
command?
door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
I do wonder if the narrator's gonna say something if I stand here for a second, but the way this game is constructed is kind of beautiful. I mean, I already have pre-information, so that changes my perspective about it. In a way, I think that's actually kind of good, because the game is constructed in a way to make you doubt the game, or doubt things, or question things constantly, and like be curious about it, wonder, not just like accept everything for as it is. Like, to me, that kind of feels like the crux of the game. I know this game, or right now for this little scene, it did mention to just let things go and not have to understand and just be okay with it, which, I mean, like, I kind of, that idea I think is a good thing. Like, it's sometimes it's great to just be like, all right, fuck it, I'm not going to think about it too much. I'm just going to enjoy this moment. Like, when you're on a hike, you're just in nature, like, and just being like, all right, let's just enjoy this moment. Let's just be. But the game very much constructs you in general to like question or think about things. And when he said like, when he wasn't listening, I can't remember the exact words that the narrator had said. I commented right after he said it though. With respects to like, he like making his own choices or not just like following somebody else's script or something along those lines. We obviously followed the script of the narrator. So there's a little bit of disingenuousness there because we were following a script. We weren't choosing our own actions. And I know when you go against the narrator, he will definitely comment on it, sometimes in a sort of negative light, like, why are you like doing something different? So there's something funny and interesting there, and I love that about this game because it's telling you to like think about things and like question it, and that ties into the whole game, that ties into you enjoying it because you benefit in this game from questioning. Yeah. So let's go outside. Let's enjoy the
Stanley
nature.
felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
And as you see there, sometimes it can be good to just listen to a narrative and follow it. There's nothing necessarily inherently wrong with it. But obviously, or not obviously, I shouldn't use that word, but there's some, when I say that, I am certain many people will be like, but Ryan, that's not always like, but is he really happy? But is it okay just to listen to the narrator? Sometimes the answer is no. You know, sometimes it's bad to just listen to a script. And as we play further into this game, we'll see why. Because if you play into a script, there's a lot of things you might miss out on. You can probably be happy listening to certain scripts at times. I don't think you should live your life listening to a script constantly. I mean, you make that choice. You know, everyone makes their own choices. But as we will see in future episodes, it can be really fun to go off script and discover what happens. So with that, I will see you guys on the next one.